Alright, so sorry if it's a little loud, but what does it mean to devote yourself to something? What does devotion actually mean? What's the point of giving your energy to something that is larger than yourself, and giving yourself up to something that's larger than yourself? What's the point? And first thing is, you have to realize that that thing that you're giving yourself to is also yourself. It's just a higher version of yourself that has attained a little bit more than what you have. But that's like the first thing. But you have to realize that there's nothing that is forcing anybody to devote themselves to anything. And if you're deciding to devote yourself to something because you feel like you have to, then you're never going to get what it is that you're looking for out of it in the first place. You're not going to be able to experience what the point is without doing it out of your own free will. And yes, when you go and do stuff like say somebody is devoting themselves to a church or something, and then they go and they do their prayer for every week, once a week, every week, for their whole life, and they attain nothing. The reason is because they haven't seen the point. They haven't gotten the point. Devotion is about giving yourself to love. Giving yourself to love. For me, what I've experienced through devotion is by allowing myself to become vulnerable and by giving myself fully to love, the feeling of love. All of a sudden, I feel a deep sense of satisfaction. Satisfaction is not the right word because it's not powerful enough, but deep satisfaction and beauty and love. Like I start crying, and just at the thought, for me, I've devoted myself to a lot of different kind of deities and things like that, but the one that brings it about the quickest is Shiva, and also Krishna and Jesus as well. Jesus does the same thing. Shiva and Jesus are about on the same level, honestly. But recently it's been with Shiva, and I will devote myself through prayer. But it's not prayer like what people normally think. It's like I'm literally like, I'll start to say I love you in my own head, you know what I mean? And like I'm just like, I'm speaking directly to the source energy, and I look up and I say I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and then I feel this energy start to flow through me. And the energy is that of, I'm just gonna come over here and sit down just for a second just so I can try to explain this to you. That energy is something that is unexplainable. It's a feeling of, imagine you've gone lifetimes looking for a lover, and you've gone lifetimes looking for this lover, and you finally got a glimpse of them, and you saw them, and then all of a sudden you start to weep because it's been so long since you've seen that lover. And then you see a glimpse for just a second. This is what I'm talking about. Thank you. You say thank you because that lover is you too, but it's a deeper aspect. And imagine you see this lover and you give them a hug for the first time in lifetimes. And you say thank you. And bow your head. Shiva is not, it's not a thing, a person. It's love. It's devoting yourself to love. It's devoting yourself to allowing yourself to feel who you are, your emotions, your mind, your body, everything. It's allowing yourself to feel into yourself fully. And to allow yourself to cry because it feels so good to cry. And to allow yourself to look up and then see the sun shining through. And to see the beauty and see how connected you are to the sun that's shining through. You are that sun and that beauty, that light that's shining through. That is what you are. Devotion is not about giving yourself to something because you think that you're going to get something in return. It's about giving yourself to something because it feels so good to give yourself to it. And you don't go searching for a lover because you think that you're going to gain something from that person. I mean, people do this all the time, but like what I mean is that like you're never going to be able to get what it is that you're looking for if you go into a relationship looking for as much as you can exploit out of that thing. You have to do it because you just love that thing so much, because you feel this urge to express the love that you feel as powerfully as you feel it. All of these deities and these things that people devote themselves to, they're devoting themselves to their own heart, but they get as much as what they have. They get as much as what they give. They get as much as what they can offer. So if you watch these people become more and more resentful to the church, and more resentful to religion, and more resentful to all these different things, the reason is because they're neglecting their own hearts, and they're becoming resentful towards their own hearts. Now it's about changing the direction and realizing that devotion is not something that you do for any result. You do it because it feels right. You do it because it feels so good to just give yourself to God, to give yourself to unlimited love and consciousness, to allow yourself to be played or moved through the vessel of love and light, because it feels so good to experience. You saw a very small glimpse through me, just for a second, of what it feels like to truly devote yourself to God. Just for a glimpse of a second, not even a second. Imagine holding that feeling for days on end, your whole life, having that same feeling. And it starts by coming in bursts, and small bursts that only last for a specific amount of time. But once you start to develop your energy body, and you start to develop yourself, and you start to be able to carry more and more energy in you through practicing Kriya Yoga and other things like that, breath work, different stretching, what's the word? Oh my goodness, never mind. I'm blanking on the names of the things, but it doesn't matter about the name. It's honestly about the practice. You know what I mean? And it's just devoting yourself to feeling as good as possible, and to doing the things that make you feel as good as possible, and realizing that what society tells you to do is probably one of the, I guess, least directional things that you could do. And it's best to go off of what feels the best for you, not what society tries to tell you that you should be or do. But this is a really short one. I just wanted to talk really quick about devotion, and about the feelings behind it, and why somebody would want to do it in the first place. So take care, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.